Welcome to another video. I don't know how this one's going to turn out, but we're going to take a shot at it. In some of my other videos, I've talked about getting out of your comfort zone and exploring a little bit. Well, I've decided to take my own advice for now and try to do some street photography, which is something that I never really do. So I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're going to walk around the little town of Lake Worth for a little bit and see what we can find. Stay tuned. When I first moved to Lake Worth back in 1980, I actually knew this street very well because I worked for a man who did a lot of the accounting for this street, and I did a lot of bookkeeping along here. And back then, it was a real downtown, meaning they had clothing stores and real estate and insurance people and a grocery store and movie theaters and everything you would find in a general downtown area. And I used to do their bookkeeping. And over time now, it has changed to galleries and restaurants, and even with after COVID, a lot of these small businesses just never really came back. That's 2J's. If you ever want a good lunch, that's where you go. Best sandwiches in town. This is really considered their city square now. They've been trying to paint everything. And over there is the public library. The library. For anyone who's saw the movie Body Heat, it was out many years ago, Kathleen Turner. There's a scene in there where they're inside in a little dark restaurant. That's the restaurant that they were inside. And when I was doing commercial real estate, I actually sold that restaurant. It used to be a French place, then it became a steak place. Now it looks like it's some sort of taco place. But that's the restaurant that's in that movie. And then right across the street, in that building up there in the upper windows, that little pink building, if you can see it, there was a lawyer that was in the movie, and he used to look out a window. That's the windows he used to look out at. It was from that building over there. There's City Hall. I don't know how much you can see. They also filmed a Burt Reynolds TV show here in this town a while back. And there were a lot of scenes of the steps of City Hall. That was it over there. There's a boat in the way now, but you live in South Florida, you see a lot of boats, huh? And then also in the movie Body Heat, there was a diner that was in the movie a lot. And they built the diner just for the movie. And when the movie was over, they took it down. And I forget what they built right after that, but now it's a drugstore. CVS drugstore. That's where the diner was in the movie Body Heat. It was over there on that corner. City Hall over here again. This has been open and closed so many times. Bamboo Room. Used to be a really good spot for blues music, and they would have different types of music from time to time, but mostly blues. Any big name in blues was on tour. A lot of them would come through here, and it's a really small venue. I don't know how many it really ended up holding, 500, 1,000 people most, but boy, it was a good little spot for blues. Unfortunately, they just never could keep it going for a long period of time. But that was one of the landmarks here for a while. As I was saying before I rudely interrupted myself, They tried to turn this town into more of an artsy kind of town, and a lot of the galleries came in and the restaurants, and I don't know how successful they were. There's a lot of vacancy along the streets now. But I think that, unfortunately, COVID took its toll on this little town, just like it did many others. And a lot of these buildings were built in the 1920s. It was a nice little town, but I think it's has its issues. I guess he moved from Penny Lane. Well, I'm back from my little walking tour. I don't know how successful it was. Walked up and down the street a couple of times, and boy, the streets have changed. All the businesses have changed quite a bit over the years. And I'm still not one. There were a few people that I would love to have been able to take their portraits, but you know, I don't know whether they're homeless or what the situation was, and I'm just not comfortable enough to walk up and strike a conversation with someone like that and ask to take their portrait. Maybe one day I'll get to that level. I don't know. Again, it's more of getting out of your comfort zone and learning how to do those kinds of things. But there were a couple of people with white beards, you know, salt and pepper beards, that, man, I would have loved to have had the courage to go up and ask them, but maybe next time. There were just a lot of other people that were kind of mingling around in the same little area, and I just didn't know what kind of reaction I would get or what would happen. So anyway, if I got any good photos, here they are. Until next time, please like and subscribe, and take good care of yourself.